If your Merchant of Venice essays are sitting at around 13 marks, I want to show you something that could help you improve that score to anywhere between 18 and 20, using a tool called Excel HSC Copilot. I'm James. I finished first internally in both Advanced and Extension English and got a Band 6 in both subjects. But what really helped me get there, especially with those tricky essay questions, was knowing how to adapt my knowledge and actually analyze the text, not just describe it. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a sample Merchant of Venice response that sits in the 10 to 13 mark range. We'll plug it into Excel HSC Copilot, review the feedback, and then I'll show you how to improve it, using deeper analysis and a structured approach that you can apply to your own writing. But before we get to the essay, let's step back and talk about why textual analysis matters. This is the study guide from Excel HSC Copilot, and honestly, it's one of the most useful resources for understanding how to approach the Merchant of Venice at a high level. The strongest essays are the ones that show how Shakespeare uses the structure, form, and context of the play to explore complex human experiences. So let's break that down. At its core, the Merchant of Venice is about contradiction. We see characters like Shylock, who's both a victim and a villain. We get speeches about mercy from Portia, and then we watch her apply the laws mercilessly. The play ends in marriage and celebration, but also with Shylock's financial ruin and forced conversion. This is why understanding anomalies, paradoxes, and inconsistencies is so important to your analysis. Because Shakespeare isn't giving us clear moral heroes and villains. He's showing us what happens when personal emotions clash with societal expectations, and when justice and mercy can't exist in the same room. So when you get a question like the one that was in the 2024 HSC Advanced English Paper 1, asking in what ways has the study of a prescribed text given you insights into the complex relationship between human qualities, motivations, and actions, you need to do more than identify what motivates the characters. You need to show how Shakespeare constructs these motivations through language, irony, contrast, and structure, and what insights that gives you as a student. That's why this matters. And that's what we're going to look at in this next section. I'm going to show you a sample response that has the right characters and events, but doesn't yet dig deep enough into how meaning is made. Let's take a look. I'll show you the full response here. Feel free to pause if you want to read it in detail. It's not a bad essay at all. It has a clear structure, relevant examples, and a basic understanding of the text ideas. But it doesn't go quite deep enough to reach the top bands. So let's now submit this essay and see what the AI has to say. And here's the feedback. It has given this response an overall mark of 10 out of 20. So let's go through why, and more importantly, how we can improve it. Starting with structure and cohesion. The tool says that the essay is logical and coherent, which is a solid starting point, but it lacks sustained analysis. That means the points are introduced, but not developed in enough depth to build a fully persuasive argument. So to improve on this, each paragraph needs more elaboration, not just on what the characters do, but why it matters, how it reflects deeper human motivations, and what Shakespeare is revealing through it. Next is feedback on conceptual understanding. The AI tool says the student has a clear grasp of character motivations, like Shylock's revenge or Bassanio's romantic and financial desires, but doesn't explore the interplay between qualities, motivations, and actions in enough detail. So to improve on this, instead of listing character traits and matching them to quotes, we need to unpack the tensions and contradictions behind their choices. For example, how does Shylock's demand for justice contradict his appeal for shared humanity? Or what does Portia's legal brilliance tell us about gender roles, control, and power? There is also feedback on the use of textual evidence and analysis. The tool recognizes that the essay uses relevant quotes, but it also flags that they aren't explored deeply enough. So when you include a quote, you need to identify the technique. In other words, is it a metaphor, irony, or allusion? Explain the emotional and social context, and link it to Shakespeare's broader purpose or commentary. So for that quote, you might say something like, Shakespeare uses rhetorical questioning and inclusive pronouns to highlight Shylock's shared humanity, even as the surrounding scene exposes the limits to Christian empathy. Finally, the AI feedback tool comments that the essay's tone and language are appropriate, but again, the ideas are too brief and not well developed across paragraphs. The solution here is to stay with your idea longer. Rather than rushing through 3 points in one paragraph, Slow down. Use more varied and specific evidence. Trace the consequences of a character's motivations over the course of the play. So to recap, here are the 4 big things this essay needs to improve: depth, detail, technique, and insight. Now that we've seen the feedback, I'm going to take you to the key points and show you how I'd rebuild this response using the structure and ideas we covered earlier in the video. I'm going to use this tips document over here to give me a possible plan for the essay. Let's start with the introduction. We've identified that your response here should be analytical or conceptual from the beginning. So my tip would be, your thesis should reflect a clear perspective on what Shakespeare is saying about human behaviour, not just what happens in the play. Start by identifying the key tensions or contradictions the composer explores. Ask yourself, what insight has studying this text given me about how people justify their actions when emotions, duty, and power collide? Here's a stronger version of a thesis that you could use. In The Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare examines the tension between human qualities, motivations, and actions through themes of justice and mercy, love and friendship, and appearance versus reality. These themes highlight the paradoxes and inconsistencies of human nature. That kind of thesis immediately signals a more sophisticated understanding and sets you up to develop 3 clear body paragraphs. Here's what your structure might look like based on this plan. Justice and mercy reveal how revenge and compassion shape actions. Love and friendship explore the paradox of selflessness and self-interest. Appearance versus reality exposes the struggle between societal expectations and authenticity. Let's walk through each one. The first paragraph should explore how Shakespeare sets up a conflict between revenge and compassion, especially through Shylock and Portia, and what this tells us about human motivation. Your topic sentence might look like this. Shakespeare explores the tensions between justice and mercy, illustrating how revenge-driven actions conflict with compassion. And then you want to move on to evidence and analysis. Let's start with Portia. I'd include one of her quotes, like "the quality of mercy is not strained." This moment uses elevated poetic language. She frames mercy as divine, something that should be offered freely. It's Shakespeare positioning Portia as a voice of moral idealism, at least on the surface. Now contrast that with Shylock, who responds with, "I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond." Shakespeare uses Shylock's insistence on legal justice to reveal how revenge can completely displace empathy. He doesn't appeal to humanity, he appeals to the letter of the law. Shakespeare uses Shylock's insistence on legal justice to reveal how revenge can completely displace empathy. He doesn't appeal to humanity, he appeals to the letter of the law. And then to link it back to the question, I'd say something like, the courtroom scene ultimately shows how human motivations, whether driven by prejudice, anger, or moral ideals, can lead to rigid or inconsistent actions, especially when justice is weaponized rather than balanced by mercy. The second paragraph is all about the duality of emotional loyalty and material gain. Your topic sentence might look like, Shakespeare presents friendship and love as relationships where emotional loyalty often coexists with personal ambition, highlighting how actions are rarely driven by a singular motivation. And then you could go straight into this quote from Antonio. He says, "My purse, my person, my extremist means lie all unlocked to your occasions." This shows genuine devotion. He's willing to risk everything for Bassanio, a strong example of selfless friendship. But we need to ask ourselves, is this entirely selfless? Because Shakespeare likes to keep dynamics complicated. Now take Bassanio. In Belmont is a lady richly left. This line introduces Portia not by her personality, but by her wealth. It sets the tone for his pursuit. While Bassanio does later prove his care for Portia, Shakespeare is careful to show us that financial motivation was part of the initial appeal. From that, you can link it back to that question by speaking about how Shakespeare depicts relationships as shaped by both genuine care and material motivations. The third paragraph should focus on how surface level appearances can mask deeper truths, whether that's in identity, values, or morality. Your topic sentence could be, Shakespeare critiques societal values by revealing how appearances often mask deeper truths, exposing the conflict between expectation and authenticity. And then for the evidence and analysis of this, you could start with the gold casket test. All that glisters is not gold. This is a direct warning against superficial judgment. Shakespeare uses it symbolically to question how society often rewards presentation over substance, a theme that runs throughout the play. Then move to Portia's disguise, when we are both accoutred like young men. This line marks the moment when Portia cross-dresses to appear in court. Shakespeare uses this disguise to challenge rigid gender roles and highlight how social power can shift based on how someone appears, not just who they are. So your link back might be, by exposing the gap between appearance and reality, Shakespeare suggests that societal expectations often suppress authenticity, and that people perform roles to survive or succeed in their world. Once you finish the 3 body paragraphs, you can move on to the conclusion. To wrap up your essay, focus on 2 things. Summarize the core insight and reflect on the emotional or moral impact of the text. So your conclusion might look something like this. Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice reveals that human motivations and actions are never one-dimensional. Whether it's the pursuit of justice, expressions of love, or the tension between surface and truth, the play challenges us to reflect on the inconsistencies of human nature and the moral complexities that define our decisions. Now, based on this structure, I've rewritten the essay. I'm going to plug it back into the AI tool to see what my marks look like now. Okay, great, it's given some more feedback. Let's now check my mark. 18 out of 20. So you can still see here that the tool has flagged some more areas where I could polish. So there's always room to keep improving. But hopefully, this has given you a clear idea of how to level up your essay and how tools like this can help you do it in a structured, practical way. If you want to try this out for yourself, we're giving you full access to the English course inside Excel HSC Copilot, which is completely free. That includes essay planning tools, sample responses, vocabulary banks, and AI feedback, just like what you've seen in this video. The course is normally $99, but if you sign up today, you'll get it for free. I've left the link in the bio.